Good morning and welcome to Kramer's Corner with Daily Technical Update. It is Tuesday the 3rd of September and it is the day after US was closed yesterday due to Labor Day. So, but we will take it have a look at it anyway. But we will start with the Nikkei that over the past couple of days, Monday and today, has been very close to testing the resistance at 39,220. Here is it's the future, the Osaka future. So this key level here is quite key, and also RSI needs to break above and close above 60 threshold for really a push back to previous all-time highs. Otherwise, I think it will slide back a little bit. But in general, basically, probably be caught range bound between 30,300 and 39,200. On the US indices, well, as we talked about yesterday, the S&P 500 closed above this top and reversal pattern here, so that has been cancelled, and it was also the highest close ever on the weekly, not on daily, but on the weekly. So really strong S&P 500, despite showing some divergence. Positive sentiment on the RSI. What is not that strong is the Nasdaq 100. However, as you can see, RSI is pointing up here, and it was also in a positive sentiment. So it could test these this resistance area here, and thereby cancelling this top and reversal pattern. But let's see, it really needs to close above that candle there, and then we have the 20,211 resistant level. That is key. Moving on to the European markets, we have EUROSTOXX 50. We talked about yesterday that it could test the 49.07, but it actually bounced off the 100 moving average and the upper part of the cloud here, and it looks fairly strong. We are in positive sentiment and could push higher and likely test the 5,000 level maybe today or next couple of days. Still a little bit below the all-time highs, but there is potential up to higher levels above 5,000. DAX index, new all-time high again today after testing 18,779 support. Yes, but yesterday that was a resistance, now it's a support, and it's pushing higher. Positive sentiment, no divergence, indicating we are likely to see higher levels on DAX. Amsterdam index 927, that is the key resistance that it really needs to close above. I think it will have a go at it fairly soon. We have the RSI, the positive sentiment. We are basically above the cloud at the moment, so we should see a test at least of the 927. If it does close above, well, then we will see a move towards our previous all-time highs at just around 950. Also, CAC40, very strong bounce, 77.25, where we have the 100 coming down, the 200 slightly rising, so there will be some conflict there. Fairly strong resistance level, I believe, and I think it will be tested with the RSI also in a positive sentiment. And the Swiss market, well, also quite strong. I think we will see it pushing higher above 12,500 in the coming days, during this week possibly. Key support 12,219. If it breaks below that, closes below that, well, then expect a larger correction. Moving on to euro dollar, that is in correction mode, and support here, I think we could just remove this. It's the 38.2 retracement at 110.40 that it tested yesterday, bounced a little bit off. It could break below it. If it does break below, I don't think you should wait for a close below. Well, then I think we'll see a sell-off down to a 110, and it could dip down to the 61.8 retracement, and support here around 109.40, 40.50 level. If it can hold above there, well, then expect to rebound back towards 111.40 or 111.50 and possibly higher. Euro sterling. Yeah, it bounced off the 84. It hasn't really gained traction, but if it can move back above 40 threshold, maybe we can see a little bit of a bounce towards the 55 moving average, possibly just below 84.70, 84.60, but there should be rebound potential to 84.85. which is the 38.2 retracement. If it does take out 84 level down here, expect a push down to 83.75, 83.50 even. Cable in correction mode, and I think it will see a correction down to the 38.2 retracement of 130.36. Slightly divergence on the other side, but I still think we will see just a minor correction before a bounce and a continuation of the uptrend. Dollar yen reads more or less bang on the 61.8 retracement, 147.12, 147.13 if we round up a little bit. Setback here before possibly next push higher. Let's see if our side drops back below the rising trend line and back below 40 threshold to close below. Well, then we can see another push towards the lows down here around 143.5, 143.40 around this level. If it takes out, again, the peak here today, 147.21 it is, so it's 147.25. Expect a push to the 786 retracement, maybe even all the way up to 149.40. That would be key resistance towards Euro yen. Spiked almost all the way up to 786 in this bounce here. And then it got tired. If it takes out 160 level, well, then expect a move down to around 158, possibly dipping a little bit lower. It needs to take out 164 even for upside potential to 167, 168. Aussie yen got rejected at the 99.90 level, very close to break above, but it didn't, and now it's sliding back. 97.25 is key for downside potential, so expect in this range right there. To sterling yen, that actually did break above the 190 level, but then it got smacked back down again, so I think I'll remove this one there. So that will be key. Will it close back below, and then we are back in this range? And RSI also got rejected at 60 threshold, and is currently still back below for further upside potential. It really needs to close back below 192, and then there's potential up to 195, 196. Otherwise, it will be stuck in this range here again. 188.90 on the downside to be observed. We have Aussie dollar that is currently trading below the support here at 67.60. I think we could see a correction down to around 67, and then possibly a bounce, and then resuming uptrend fairly strong at the moment. However, we can see that some of the moving averages, they are slightly fading a little bit, but they are still rising. So some strong support around 67. It is not unlikely, however, that it could dip a little bit below it. So let's see about that. But I think it will test it at least. Dollar Canada. Also a bounce here, and I think we will see over the next couple of days crawling higher, 135.50, 135.90 around this level where we have a little bit of resistance. We can see here the 200 moving average was support there, and then it went straight through on the third try. I think it could move up to around that level and test that level again. Euro Swiss bounced a little bit to the 38.2 retracement at 94.44. I think it could crawl higher towards the 61.8, just around 95, but we are in a downtrend. If it takes out 93.50, well, then expect a push down to around 92.90 at least in this region here, possibly lower. And dollar Swiss also a bounce to 38.2 retracement, 85.33. Could push higher, possibly up to the 61.8 at 686.15, and then I think it will slide back again and be caught a really range bound here. But look out for a break higher. Finally, on the dollar index, has surpassed the 38.2 retracement. I still think there's room up to the 102.23, which is 61.8 retracement, and then I think it will slide back because I also think that your dollar will pick up the bullish trend eventually. Gold is still trading sideways in this range here, and 2470 is the level to look out for the downside, but it's up above the 2484. That seems to be the support, but I wouldn't call a bearish move until it breaks below 2470, and then 2452 is to the upside. That really needs to be broken for further upside potential to 2550, 26. Silver, well, it's finding some support at the 50% here we talked about yesterday, but I think we could still see a push down to 61.8 at 27.80, 87 level, and then I think we'll see a bounce back up. But it's really a strong resistance around these levels. You have the cloud area, you have the 55 and the 100 moving average. That could be a little bit of a struggle, so there could be a little bit pressure to the downside, and the RSI is not giving us much direction at the moment. But what could maybe be a leading indicator, I don't know, but we have copper here that is getting beaten this morning a bit, and is currently testing the 412.70, close below. Then we could see, well, we could actually just buy a break below, but a close below will be important if it does or not. But if it does close below, which is not unlikely given that we have the 55 moving average coming down, you can see kind of acts as a resistance. And here we have a support for 1270. You could see a push down to around 400, and the falling trend line right there. It really needs to take out the peak here, 431.85, for upside potential. And I get tired of talking about it, but we have to keep an eye on it because suddenly it does move. And we have the crude oil. Here's the WTI. We see lower lows on the volatile moves. I think we will see a bearish breakout of this large triangle-like pattern here, and that is 71.67. And on the Brent right here, we have the what is it? The 75.05, so below 70. Expect a bearish breakout, but it's just not there. You can see it's kind of locking in here, and let's just draw two trend lines because I think that is also key to look out for. So I don't know what happened there. Sorry about that. Very quickly we have there, so they are declining. However, the lows are rising, so it's actually also maybe forming a little bit of a triangle-like pattern here, and that could actually go on for the next couple of weeks in a tighter and tighter range. Finally, on the euros treasury yields, closed again back below the upper falling trend line, rejected twice at the 61.8, retracement at 392, and could slide back towards the 379, maybe lower. It needs to take out 392, 393 for a push higher towards 4%. All right, that's all for today. Have a nice day and happy trading.